Good morning, everybody. Oh, I'm so sick. My nose is completely raw from blowing it every 2 minutes. And my strategy of just trying to ignore the oncoming cold and dosing myself with vitamin C and zinc, I think worked because I'm assuming it would be worse than what it is now had I not done those things. But I always do feel better when I practice. So I'm going to do a really basic practice. I did it as a time lapse. So I'm going to slow it down for everybody. So I got this really cool thing from Lifeform, my Christmas present. It's like a little piece of mat, which I thought was great. It's got all the Lifeform markings on it that you can just put on top of your mat to pad your knees. So those of you who like Lifeform mats, they're great with all their markings for your hands and your feet. I didn't think I would like that, but I kind of do. It gives me kind of like some landmarks with stuff. And it really encourages me to use the entire mat because the markings are all over. But anyway, I'm gonna just do a really small practice, 5 minutes, just to kind of get my body moving. I feel like if I move, I'll kind of boost my immunity a little bit. But boy, oh boy, this cold has knocked me out. So I'm gonna start in kneeling for a few moments and just take a few breaths. And when I kneel, I sit up on a bunch of blocks because it takes the pressure off my knees and it also takes the pressure off my low back. And I'm pretty warmed up already, so I'm going to go from here to my version of a camel. So this is one way you could do camel. Lengthen the sides of your waist. So I'm lifting my armpits and drawing the tops of my shoulders back and lifting my heart. I'm really pushing down into the blocks here. I really love that feeling. And then I'm going to come back and scoot back to tabletop position for a little bit of cat-cow. I'm enjoying this extra padding underneath my knees. I sometimes put the pad like underneath the mat just to give it like extra padding. And then I'm going to make my way back to a standing forward fold at the top of my mat. So I walk my hands over to one side, step one leg, and if I'm using my blocks, I use my blocks for leverage to step the other leg forward. And then come to my forward fold here. And bend your knees a lot and lift from this part of your butt right up to the sky because it allows the top of your body to drape more. So we call this part here the gluteal fold. You want to lift from that part of your bottom. And then a little half lift. It's almost like a flat back. So I keep my knees bent still and I keep tipping my bottom out for my flat back. And then I'll fold, stepping back with the right foot, right knee on the padded surface. Stay here for a breath or 2 or 6. Whatever feels good, and opening the hip. And then I'm feeling I need a little bit of a back bend today. So if you're feeling it, you can reach back with the right hand and grab a hold of the right ankle. You can even take your right hand to your right waist and do a little twist here, or a little, back bend here. Then both hands down to the mat. I like to do a little transition straight into Russian dancer. Bringing my blocks over to the right side, lifting my right knee, pivoting my right foot. I'm going to bend into my right knee and lift my left toes. So that's the transition. And then from here, I'm going to turn toward the back of my mat and pivot into a lunge pose. I'm just pivoting on my toes, lunging twist. And then pressing into my blocks, stepping my feet forward, forward fold. Again, lifting from this part of your bottom. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And I'm going to step back with my left leg now, left knee to the floor. I'm going to, option 1, stay here for 1 breath or 6 breaths or 10 breaths, how many ever you like. If you're needing a little bit more of a back bend, you can lift and place your left hand on your waist, right leg to the sky. Oops. Don't close my eyes in this, I'm still kind of like woozy. You take your back bend and reach back if that feels good. And then from here, I like to do my transition, right? So bringing my blocks to the left, I'm gonna pivot my right toes in, lift my left leg, turn my Left toes, the long edge of my mat. Sit into my left knee, lift my right toes. I just like that stretching my hips so much. I can't tell you how much I love this pose. Maybe you do know because I do it so much. Then I'm gonna pivot, turning my left toes out, pivoting on my right foot, pivoting into a lunge pose. You can keep the knee down here if that makes more sense. You can also add a twist. I really do like a twist. I feel like I'm twisting my body and working the cold through my body. And then stepping both feet together at the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then on the inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Second part, inhale, reach. And then exhale, fold. Remember that lift and the pressing into the feet always. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Stepping back, right knee comes to the earth. And then you can either choose your lunge or your back bend in your version, right? Whatever this looks like for you. So I'm showing you all three versions here. So you pick the version that works. Then we'll do our pivot and we're going to change it up a bit. Bringing both blocks to the inside of the left foot. I'm going to lift the right knee, turn it out like I'm going to do a warrior two. Walk my feet over, turn my left toes out, and then come into my Russian dancer. Now if Russian dancer isn't your thing, because your knee is pretty far forward, I got a lot of weight in my other leg. I like it because I feel it in my hips. You can certainly stay here or stay here, right? You don't have to come all the way here. You can pivot from all those other places as well. Then I'm going to change it up a bit. I'm going to turn and walk my blocks toward my right foot. I'm going to pivot my left foot and I'm going to transition into an extended side angle pose. So turning my right toes out to the top of the mat, bending into my left toes, pushing out through my back heel. Now from here, I just like to go straight to Trikonasana triangle, whatever that feels like. And then from here, I like to go to left hand to the block, right hand to the sky. And stay in these poses for as long as feels available and comfortable to you. Like you don't have to move quickly. This is just my practice and how I like to move. Then I'm going to take my blocks to my lowest setting, frame my right foot, push into the blocks, and step back to down dog. What I like about adding the blocks is it lengthens my arms and it makes space for my torso or my legs to move, and my torso gets longer so there's more space. I'm going to inhale to top of a push-up, lower down, and then I just like to do a little push-up so I'm not rolling through. Push-ups are good for me. And sit back. I'm always building upper body strength. My lower body is really strong. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down dog. Then you can walk your feet forward as far as they go, and then maybe meet your hands to your feet if they don't make it all the way. I'm using blocks, so this lengthens my arm and gives myself more space to walk forward. Let's do an inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. I'm going to step back with the left foot this time. Inhale, and here's my option to stay here, to come up, or to come back. So pick your option. Hands on the block, first bus stop, hands to the sky, second bus stop, hand back to the heel, third bus stop. Right? One. So pick your bus stop. Stay here as long as it feels interesting and comfortable. And then I'm going to make my pivot. Curling my left toes under, lift my left knee, walking my blocks to the left, pivot and plant the left foot, turn the right toes in. Option one on the stop, you can stay here, wide-legged forward fold. Option two, you can bend a little bit over to the left side. Option three, you can bend a lot, and it's really just personal preference and what feels best in your body. I'm not trying to do all the things. Just do what works. Then I'm going to come back, pivot my foot flat. So bringing the outer edge of my right foot to the parallel edge of my mat. Then I'm going to turn my left toes out, come to my extended side angle. Bend to triangle. And remember, take your time and move. Stay for as long as you like at any of these poses. Do your own practice. Change it up if you don't like what I'm doing. And then take your right block, hand to your right block, pressing right back in the floor. We're gonna pivot up onto the right toes and take that lunge. I love a lunge. If you find that your belly is maybe keeping you from twisting, you can just lift your belly into the twist. So I just lifted and kind of rested on my leg. Both hands on the block, step your feet forward. Good, fold. Beautiful. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Pressing into the blocks. Let's take the blocks on their lower setting and step back to down dog. Good. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower the knees down. I'm going to do my little push-up. Always working on upper body strength. And push back. You can always put a block underneath your forehead here if you need more. And then one more time, forward. And then back. And then bringing my blocks on their medium setting. I step my right foot forward, coming to my lizard lunge. If you want to go deeper and maybe come into a version of the splits, you can play with that. It's really personal preference, right? This feels good, this doesn't feel good, I don't need to do this. You can also stay in child's pose if you're like, okay, you know, this is all the practice that I needed today. I don't need to go deeper, right? It's not always pushing it past your edge. It's not always competing with yourself. I did this yesterday, therefore I have to do this today. Okay, it's just about being here and being in your breath and slowing down, especially now that it's Christmas Eve. It's not my favorite time of year, but I'm here for my boys. They love it, so I'm trying to keep it positive. I just find it so tough. Breathing nice and deep. And let's come into your version of down dog. So I'm going to move away from the blocks, but you certainly can continue to use the blocks. I just need to put a little weight in my hands, pushing down through the knuckles of the fingers, the pads of the fingers, pushing down through the heels. The heels don't have to be able to touch the floor. Mine never will, and I'm okay with that. I'm feeling a delicious stretch, and that's all I care about, okay? I don't have any illusions or I don't have any feelings about not being able to do every pose. It's really neutral for me. I'm okay with whatever my body can do. And lowering your knees down. I was saying to my friend Jackie the other day that you can make your way to seated. I was just really, I don't know, surprised and impressed by the strength of my body. As most of you know, I've been going through some health issues lately, and the way that I can just still physically manage to navigate the world is completely surprising and I don't know, incredible to me that my body's still able to keep up and do and travel even though it's, you know, operating at 60% or 70%. My body's really strong and I forget that and I take that for granted, and getting sick is a really great way to remind yourself not to take your body for granted, that it's showing up the best it can every day, and that I have to have patience and love for that. So anyway, on this Christmas Eve, I wanted to let you know I'm going to do a class tomorrow, Christmas Day, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'll put it up in the, I'll be doing it on Instagram Live. I will save it so that I'll put it up in my stories. So you know on Instagram, there's all these little like pictures that you can press on that you get to keep forever. Like I guess it's like highlights in my Instagram highlights. I'll put it up there, and I'll also put it up on Facebook where it'll just kind of stay up forever. So when you're ready, you can make your way to your final rest pose. You can come back to any breathing practices you want to do. You can take a nap if you like, but this is where I'm going to leave you. And so if you're joining me tomorrow on Instagram, thanks. If not, have a wonderful holiday, whatever you choose to celebrate, whether it's Hanukkah or Christmas or Kwanzaa or Toyota Fast Sales Day or the Honda event or anything. I heard Darian Lake say that. Whatever you choose to celebrate now, or just time with family or just some downtime, I hope it's the best, and I look forward to growing with you and being with you and being challenged by life and by you in 2019. All right, everybody. Oh, I should let you know, if you like my mat or any of the stuff, this is the little pad, you can get this with a 15% discount at lifeform.com. Use the coupon code DianeDB, all capitals, 2018, to get a 15% discount, and 5% of all sales from the mat go to social justice and all kinds of charities. So you get to kind of pick your charity where you want that 5% to go. You know how I am about social justice, which is why I'm teaming up with Lifeform, because I really do love the mat. Okay, anyway, that was it. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.